For today's cup of coffee with Scream.
My spoon is too big. My spoon is too big.
It was so funny because on X, they'll post things from TikTok every now and then. And I appreciate that because it filters out a lot of idiocy. And they keep the best of the idiocy.
Yeah, that's how I found out about that animation with the my spoon is too big.
There was this one lady.
Big ass spoon.
This lady that she had formed a club for perimenopausal and menopausal women. It's called the I Don't Care Club.
Yep. I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, and there were so many things. And it's that laughter of recognition and acknowledgement and agreement of going, yep, that's how it is. Yep. That's just how it is. Yep. And that was like, we're recording this on July the 1st, 2025. And this year is just flying by because it's from crisis to crisis to crisis to crisis.
So much is happening all at once, and there is no letting up on this shit.
Well, yes and no. And that was like, today, it was a matter of listening. Robert Phoenix does the astro weather Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then on Fridays, he's got the Friday forecast. And then on Sundays, he does another show. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate those, the astro weather greatly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much appreciated to get a heads up on this stuff.
And then you've got Esperanza Vence, and she's got her quick hits with the tarot.
Mm-hmm, and they're pretty spot on.
Oh, absolutely. And so this is how I use those tools, and they are tools, to sit there and go, okay, people are going to be stupid today. They're going to be petty. They're going to be, whiny and bitchy. I'm not going to play. Mm-hmm. Not going to play, because that gives me choice. I could make an informed decision on what I wanted to participate in today and what I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you have power.
Yes. To make informed decisions. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like we had thunderstorm earlier. I have an app on my phone, and wouldn't it be great to have an app that was esoteric knowledge, that it's like, warning, this is in such and such alignment. People are going to be petty and shitty.
That would be awesome.
Somebody needs to come up with that.
Yeah.
And to sit there and go, okay, I'm going to stay in the house. That, or I'm going to be aware when I have to go in and around other people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Personally, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't watch my normal news stuff today. Not today.
There was an astrological app that would sort of give like daily horoscopes, but I think that they were pretty surface level.
Yeah, some of that is just stupid shit.
If they did, like, it was a good app to keep track of your horoscope if you didn't want to constantly go back and refer to papers or whatever.
Yeah.
Wherever you have it written down.
Some of that stuff is so bogus, and it gives astrology the true art of astrology, and it is an art.
Well, I just do it to keep track of what planets certain signs in my chart is. That's what I use it for.
Right. I can see that. But as far as somebody like Robert Phoenix, who is a very learned person, he's a smart person.
Big brain.
He is big brain. And he knows what he's talking about. And it's like, Chattaria, I love Chattaria. I do, because those are not stupid people.
You cannot be a stupid person and watch Robert Phoenix.
No. Because you're not going to be able to follow it. I mean, and it's like those of us in the chat and stuff, you have so many people from so many walks of life with so many experiences gathered. And it's like some of our pirates are from Chattaria, and so we get that crossover and just blessed. And when they leave, and folks over there on BitChute and Rumble and stuff like that, ever so often, just humble yourself, go to YouTube, read some of the comments from the pirates over on the YouTubes. Because they're brilliant.
Mm-hmm. They're good people.
Yeah. To share that
Smart
wisdom and
people.
knowledge.
Huh?
To share that wisdom and knowledge. And it helps everybody.
Yeah.
And even
Well,
if it's the silliness, to share that too.
Here I am. Sometimes I do watch Robert on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, Smooth Brain Gang, in the midst of the big brain people.
But there's always things that you can learn from him.
Yeah, I do.
And-
I learn a lot.
And
I
this-
learn a lot from it.
I had lurked on the Sunday night show and still need to go back, because it's not just the whatever is going on for that day or that week. There's knowledge that's shared that can be used in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that. I wish you would write a book.
Life knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly need to sit and take notes on some of these things for real.
Yeah. Like, you mentioned a book there. A book would be awesome if you wrote one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be great. But that was just like he was talking about as far as the boomer generation, and that some of those people, I had to go back and thoroughly listen to it, as far as them being narcissistic parents. And there were so many people in chat that obviously had similar childhoods.
I can see that.
Yeah. So I've got to go back and listen to the full thing that he said. And it's like these little nuggets. He will just throw those out randomly to whoever wants to listen.
Gotta have a net to catch them.
Exactly. You got to be willing to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he was talking about today's energy, and like I said, in Esperanza, she had, that devil card came up, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out of the loop today.
What was that?
Well, it's just like the devil card
And when
in
was
tarot.
that?
It was this morning.
What
Yeah.
does
And
that mean?
it's you've got to realize what those things mean, and it's not. There's
does it
multiple
mean?
reasons within that.
What does it mean?
I'm not.
What does it mean?
I would rather that she explained the cards, and she's been with her little quick hits things, lots of good info that she does go in and explain what these cards mean. So, and she does that with the devil card. So you could go and listen to that after a while, and you can learn from her.
But you're right in front of me, and you already have that knowledge up in your head.
Some of it
somewhere.
I do, but I can't explain it like she can. That's her lane. I'm not going to get in her lane.
I worked all night and slept all day. And then I filled my waking hours with
Sleep.
News shit.
Oh, God. Well, no, that was the reason I did not. And it was sort of gray and everything. I slept most of the day.
It was stuff that I have missed within the past week.
Yeah, well,
Equivalent to a week.
And did it change your world any that you didn't know what was going on?
No. Gave me a little bit more awareness as far as what was going on, but no, not really.
Yeah. And just those small...
And then following the Ethan Klein versus Denims and
God,
Frogan and all that, and they're getting sued by his ass, and it's like, yes.
See, that's somebody else's situation. We've had our own situations that we've had to deal with, which is why I'm not searching for drama.
I don't search for it either. It's right there on the recommended page.
Yeah, well, I would much rather... It's like Kid and I were sitting out on the porch earlier, and baby deer. I mean, he was young, like within a week or so.
Yeah.
And it was just romping.
It was wild
back and forth
out.
and back and forth and back and forth, and the mama just standing there. And that's living to me. And it was just like oldest kid, God love him. He had gotten the times incorrect on the sleep study the previous night, and so He thought he was supposed to be there at 11:30 at night, and he was supposed to be there at 11:30 in the morning. And so we had driven down there, and the guys at the sleep center came out, and after they figured out what had happened, and I'm hollering out the window. I'm like, "Hey, y'all want donuts?" And they're like, "No,
want
thank
donuts?
you." And so,
Y'all want donuts? What kind do you want?
oldest kid, to sit there and go, "No, this was not a wasted trip. This was opportunity to spend time." So we went and we got donuts. I can tell you this, I thought Dunkin' Donuts was that's their thing. Mm-hmm. Donuts. No, if you get there after a certain hour, the selection is so limited that it's not even funny.
Stuff has not been the same since COVID.
No. Well, I think it was always like that.
Well, if it was always like that, fuck you, Dunkin'.
But
fuck
yeah.
you, Dunkin'.
But it's like...
If I want a bagel sandwich in the middle of the night...
You should
at 3 a.m.
If you can't serve what you normally serve, shut it down.
Yeah.
Just close it up for a few hours. But we did get it was an orange cream, and they're pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like to tell kid about the Krispy Kreme that used to be in Bristol. Krispy Kreme donuts was there forever, and it sort of, those of us that are old, when they took that away, but Krispy Kreme was just amazing, and you could drive by there, and you could watch the donuts being made, as far as they were in the oil, and then they would put them at the conveyor belt, and they would go around and they would get the glaze on them and stuff like that, and you could have a fresh, warm donut. And there's nothing else like that. Right there.
Omega and I stopped at a Dunkin' up there in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Down there in North Carolina. That one dude that was working there, he acted like he had no interest in anything. That was
the individual that was working last night. And it's like, look,
you got night shift. That is a good shift to have. What do you have to hate about it?
I don't know.
What do you have in your life to be miserable about?
I suspect that individual had a lot of problems. And it's like because of the insanity that the world has become, that we have had to develop new words. Such as
that one?
moob.
That one's been
If you know what a moob is, if you don't, I will explain in the comment section, but that's it.
Everybody knows what that is,
but
Mama.
To sit there
everybody knows.
And look at oldest kid, and I'm like, and there was no need for words because it was beyond words.
Dude.
And some things are, and it's just like, okay, this is an individual that there is a problem. I'm not going to speculate what the problem was because it's always multi-layered.
Uh-huh.
Because humans are multi-layered.
They are.
That's just like all these situations that's going on in the world right now, and all this political shit. Bless. All this stuff, and nobody's ever really going to know the truth. Even if you're there, that doesn't mean that you know all of it.
Right. Because there's so much shit.
Uh-huh.
So much shit deterring from the truth right now. That's being flooded.
Yeah.
Shoveled. Fucking lambasted into our asses.
And it's just like, as far as to have to deal with somebody that had DID and possible demonic attachment and different things like that. Now, when you have to go down that rabbit hole for years.
That was some shit.
And that, as far as the abuse and stuff like that, you find out that it's not usually surface level. Nothing is.
Yeah.
But your choice can be to simply go, not today. Just walk away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't let people pressure you into doing stuff. if it ain't rolling, and you know, and to catch up. The proper use of esoteric arts. Proper use. Not some of this other stuff. You ain't summoning nothing. Don't be summoning nothing.
Don't summon anything. Nothing.
But it's a tool.
Yeah.
And Esperanza, her heart is pure. She is not doing anything evil.
Mm-mm.
And as far as Robert, and I've prayed about this stuff for many, many, many years. Many.
You know, I've always wondered this. Where does scrying land?
Scrying is, you're looking to, this is the thing, when you get into this future stuff, you're seeing possibilities. But there are always so many variables. There's always variables that does not mean that what you are seeing is accurate. That's why you're not supposed to be doing that. And then if you really want to totally mind fuck yourself, go into that multiverse thing. That what you're seeing may not be for this, timeline. It may be another timeline.
Right. Well, taking that into consideration, also, what if you're looking for something else? Not spirit-wise, but...
I think that people that need to get to a point of acceptance, this is what's going on in this moment. This is what I can do about it. It's that serenity prayer. Reel yourself back in and deal with you. With your situation, with the people around you. Look at the blessings. And people, when they're too out there in the future, the what ifs could happens and blah, blah, blah,
mm-hmm.
Then they miss the what are and the what is. They miss the opportunity to have an orange cream donut or to see a baby deer or whatever it's in their environment.
Those orange cream donuts are really good.
Yeah, they're good. They're tasty.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, people are too busy being distracted by stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To really pay attention to the life around them.
Mm-hmm. Those small moments. That's what a life is comprised of. It's not always just these huge, dramatic, cinematic things, which can be life-altering.
Mm-hmm.
It's those simple, everyday things. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that you're going to remember. Those are the ones that are special. If it's midnight drive with kid to get donuts.
Yeah.
You and I used to do that quite frequently.
We did.
So your brother got to do that. Mm-hmm. While you were having different experiences.
Yeah, I was having work experience. I was bonding with the manager.
Yes, which was something you needed in your world. Yeah. It's a journey. These are individual.
He knows how to do his job and do it well.
Yeah, I figured he would.
And
so
he didn't. He's a good manager.
Mm-hmm.
I can already tell. He's a damn good manager.
Most people that'll show you how to do something and then leave you alone and let you do the something make for good managers and supervisors.
Yeah. Of course, that's also like, if he's got... If you have a bad employee, you do sort of have to be on their ass.
Well, yeah.
So that's the only time that I can really see, a manager like him really just being on their ass.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that he probably would not tolerate a bad employee for long because he doesn't want the stress.
No, he does not. I can already tell you that.
Yeah. Either somebody's going to do the job or they're not. If they're not going to do the job, get them out and get somebody else in there who will do the job. Gen X logic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
I don't think he's Gen X, though.
And what is it? You think he's younger? You think he's millennial, or do you think he's older?
Older.
We have to find. You have to find out. And he'd said he did use the phrase that he was too tired for this shit.
Yeah. He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
this will probably be my last year. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Well, you know.
Getting down in the floors and all that.
Well, I can understand that because age does have a bearing. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what today holds. You can check Esperanza. I will put the, link. I think I've usually got her link in the description box. And Robert Phoenix, you can just look for the astro weather and stuff. I don't. He does all kinds of things, so I don't keep his link in there all the time.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to type that in. Just astro, just Robert Phoenix. It'll come up there on the search thing. Plus, he does that 15 minutes of flame. If you want to do deep dives on things, I mean, he goes deep.
Make sure you put that suit on.
Which
the diving suit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Helmet and all.
And it's okay. I mean, it's nothing. Some days you can go down those rabbit holes. That's his job.
Well, some of it is rough waters.
It is.
So you have to have proper.
And you have to sit there and go, no, I can't. Not today. Not today. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate him or anything like that. It's just a matter of self-care. Now, that is something that David Palmer was talking about coming up here. Self-care. It's important. And it includes mental health. If you find yourself getting lost in those rabbit holes, or if you're getting black-pilled or any of that stuff, back out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
Do something different. Watching old, as far as what was his name? God, I told you. Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can find that different places. Watch something. Watch Ironsides. I need to find some place that carries Ironsides.
Death Becomes Her. Not the musical.
Yeah.
The movie. That musical. I've got many bones to pick with that musical.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's a comfort movie.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, watch the movie. Don't let the other shit. You don't have to watch it. You don't. You have control. Take back your power.
Yeah, I don't watch the shit. Now, I will say there are some things that are quite enjoyable about it. I'm not going to dog on it, but just the fact that they tweaked it so much that it's almost a different story.
It was unnecessary. You don't have to be miserable all the time.
No, you don't. But I was going to say, I watched that movie. I love that movie.
Then stay with the movie.
That is a self-care. You're missing what I'm saying. That is a self-care movie. And then there's I like Addams Family. Like the movie version. I really do like Angelica. What is her name? Houston's version of Morticia.
Yeah, I liked.
It's not the same.
Carolyn Jones.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same as Carolyn Jones.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
And we've got Spoopy Season because it's already. I saw pumpkin spice in the cooler someplace that was an option. They didn't have the sugar-free, but little by little, and there's been people sharing on X. I haven't had the energy to be the Halloweenies stalking the stores this year.
Right. Yeah, you didn't have to be the Halloweenies.
No, well, it's just, just not enough energy. I am enjoying the methylene blue. I really am. Check with your doctor.
Because people have pushed Halloween to a corner, people are spreading it out into summer.
That's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm all for it. They call it Summerween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you've got to get in there and...
You got to get it when you
find it.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to go to. You've got to...
Because they don't restock that shit.
When you can afford it.
But they don't restock that shit.
No, but there again, it is treasure hunting.
Yeah.
And some days it's enjoyable and some days it's not. And if there's lots of people in the stores, and that's not enjoyable for me.
Self-care, window shopping. I will be able to afford
yes, you will.
to simply window shop.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. And you could go and get that damnable Hello Kitty wing shit. You can keep it in your room.
I was going to make a joke there, but you would have rebuked me really hard for it.
Anyhow, just take back your power. That's what I'm trying to encourage people, because I have seen so many people getting severely black-pilled lately. And it's like, this one says this, and that one says that, and this one thinks he's doing this, and that one thinks he's doing... Ultimately, it is up to God.
Mm-hmm.
He has the final say.
That is true. That is true.
So just do what you can do, control what you can control. You can opt out on some of the idiocy. Yeah. Take back your power.
Yes.
Yeah. It's your God-given ability to choose. Everybody having the paranormal. Everybody having the supernatural.
Yep.
Everybody having to wade through the stupid on to a certain level.
I swear, sometimes I would hear shit in that store, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. I don't think that it's haunted, but it's like, it's just like certain sounds. It's like, what the fuck was that?
You don't get to have your phone out when you're at work, do you?
No, unless you're skipping a song. Or checking the time, but that's a really quick action right there.
Right. Well, as far as walking back and forth from break, right?
Yeah, you can have your phone out then if you're on break.
Don't they have those ghost apps?
The good ones cost money.
How much?
$10.
You will have $10 soon. So to see if there is some kind of spoopy something in the store.
I have $42. I can spare $10.
You get paid at some point.
I get paid in the week after next.
Okay, well,
if not
you
next
just
week.
have to wait.
We get paid every Wednesday.
Okay. Every other Wednesday or every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Night shift works different than day shift.
Well, I'm sure that it probably does, but payroll is usually standardized.
I'm not really
Did they do the direct deposit?
Yeah.
That's better. It's easier, especially if you are working night shift, to try to juggle hours to get to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta leave letters on family members' computers. Be like, can you please take this to the bank for me?
Mm-hmm. Mama/Uber.
But I don't know. I'm really excited to be working in retail during Halloween season.
Oh, yeah. You will get to stock the Halloween stuff.
Yes. I will get first dibs on it.
How cool is that?
Mm-hmm. I can get us some of the good bags of candy.
Do you get to do the display things also, or is that somebody else's department?
That's somebody else's department.
I want to know who made the little avocado, the pinata-looking avocado dude, because
we did get an introduction
that.
to that character that is a mascot or whatever, but they have a competition as far as making mascots or something like that.
Don't let them throw him away. Don't let them throw him away. If they want to switch him out, you bring the little avocado man home with you. We will find some place for him.
Yep.
The thing's about
you
3
brought
foot
home
tall.
a paper. I want that paper mache avocado. I want that paper mache avocado.
It's about 3 foot high.
It's a big ass.
It has a
paper
sombrero
mache
and
statue
everything.
that looks like a piñata.
It's wonderful. He's wonderful. It would go right in. It's not just the wall of fuckery. It's the house
Makes a
of
great
fuckery.
piñata.
We could hang him in the stairwell going downstairs.
And bonk your head on him every single
You don't
time.
have
Just
to
have him in
make
a
the
corner.
string that. You could hang him. I guarantee you, we could get a thing and hang it from the ceiling part. It would just take a little bit of thought.
My limbs don't go that far.
No, you have to do something special to get to that. I don't know. Well, that would be an Omega question too. To sit there and go, how do you do that? How do you get a ladder to go up there to do that?
You put 1 foot on the back of the wall. You put 1 foot on the wall. You put your hand on the other one, and then you push up, and then you just slowly.
But no, we could find some way to to hang up the little avocado bin. He could sit beside the little Yeti. He could be his friend. Yeah.
Okay. How does that go together? Even for Age of Aquarius, how does that go together?
Just because he's adorable.
But with the Yeti?
Sure.
Well,
sure. Why not?
Avocados from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsored by Bigfoot.
It means balls.
That someone described it as that of the fruit.
It does. It means testicles. It
Why
does.
did you have to take it there?
Because it's true.
Oh.
Anyhow, everybody's having paranormal and supernatural.
Not every thought.
Going into this Age of Aquarius, yes. Take back your power. You want to tell the people where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at RolandaCOCWS. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good.
Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.